I played soccer, that is football, during my primary school years. In my primary school, we had two teams, which were the junior team and the senior team. Now, the junior team, my primary school junior team, played the junior team of other schools, other primary school in our zone, in our area. And the senior team played the senior teams of other primary schools in our area then, or you may call it zone. So every year in Oloden, we held football tournaments. Now, in my own junior team then, I was the best striker. Back then, my strength lies in my ability to play both legs. I can play the right and the left leg. Not only that, I was the best dribbler. I was skillful dribbler. So people knew me because I was a skillful dribbler. I became a kind of popular in my town back then. So one day, the coach of my primary school senior team called me after training. The coach called me and informed me I was to join the senior team to play a very strong opponent. That is, the senior team was to play a match against a very strong opponent. That's another school then. I was so excited. Members of the junior team, how do I say it now? My co-players were kind of jealous of me. My teammates were kind of jealous of me because the coach now invited me to go play the senior team. You know, back then, in primary school, there were girls, beautiful girls then, who we got along. I got along with some of the girls. You know, there were times they came to school with peers, ube. Sometimes some of them came with udara, cherry, and they gave it to me because I was popular. People knew me back then. So when the news spread that I was to play the senior team, people were happy with me, excited. They said, yes, I was a good soccer player. So that was few days, the coach informed me few days before the match, like 3 days before the match was to take place. I had time, we trained very well because every morning they would come, bring all the whole soccer players out to train, for training, So, on the day of the match, we arrived at the venue. Then, the whole school, the whole students of my school attended the match. Almost everybody attended the match because the principal always instructs the students to come and cheer us up. So on the day of the match, we went to the stadium, Olo Sports Stadium. We went to this stadium. Our opponent then was a very strong, it was a very strong opponent, very strong players, very strong team. So, When the match kicked off, when the match was to kick off, the trainer did not put me to start the match. He said I wasn't going to start the match, but he did something spectacular. The man gave me jersey number 10, which a kind of made other senior players upset. No, they were kind of jealous. How come the coach gave me jersey number 10, to wear? I was like proud to have jersey number 10. So that's, number 10 jersey, whoever puts on jersey number 10 is the playmaker of the team, that kind of a thing. So they played, my school team played first half and there wasn't any goal. It was goalless draw. No team scored. At the time I got upset, I said, why didn't this coach put me inside to show my skill? After the break, when first half ended, they gave everybody glucose. You know how we did it then. They put glucose on your palm and then you lick glucose. So when the first half ended, the coach then now said I was to play the second half. I was excited. I was like, I was having a kind of heartbeat. So, like 10 minutes after the break, we were to start the second half. I was the top striker. The man made me the top striker. As the referee blew the whistle, the match began. I didn't come in contact with the ball much because the guys I was playing football with were much stronger than me. They were like 2 years older than me. So they had much power and strength. When it comes to fighting for the ball, I had no chance. To be honest, they were faster and stronger than me. So to snatch the ball from them was hard for me. I made moves several times. It wasn't easy. So now, what I did was to start opening up. I began to distance myself from my opponents. So I started opening up. I would distance myself from them and then call on my team players to pass the ball to me. I did it several times. They tried, but our opponents the defenders were very strong. So I continued opening up. They kept passing ball to me, but the opponents were much more very strong and faster. Like 3 minutes before the end of the coach was patient with me. He wasn't troubled because I wasn't touching ball much. Like 3 minutes before the end of the second half, it was still goalless. No team had scored. One of my teammates located me, saw how I made a run, opened up. The guy passed the ball to me. As the ball came to me, I trapped the ball. Now raised my right leg to hit the ball. Then I heard someone shout, "Leave it, leave it." And the voice was familiar. Standing next to me was my fellow team player. He said I should leave the ball. I left it. Under a blink of under few seconds, the guy hit the ball inside the net. Listen to what happened now. When my fellow team player passed the ball to me, I was standing face to face with the goalkeeper of our opponents of the other primary school. In fact, even a crippled man can score that goal. A blind man can score that goal. So when he passed the ball to me, immediately I trapped the ball. A fellow team player shouted at me, said I should leave it. I heard the voice. It was the voice of Jude Obegoro, a fellow striker of my team. He said I should leave it, and I left it because he was a stamp player. He was a regular, one of the, how do I put it now? He was also one of the best player in the senior team in my primary school. So the guy said that, ordered me to leave the ball. I left it for him. And under few seconds, the ball entered the net. The whole crowd, began to celebrate. There was noise everywhere, joy everywhere. People began to scream, began to shout. Even spectators ran into the field to celebrate the guy. But I wasn't happy. Up to today, I still remember that incident. Up to today, I have not forgotten the name of that guy. His name was then Jude Obegoro. The guy stole my glory. Listen attentively. Up to today, I still remember that guy. I knew if I had shot the ball, that ball would enter the net. I knew if I had kicked the ball, that ball would have entered the net. But I listened to the guy. The guy told me to leave the ball, and I left the ball for him to kick. Now, what I did was I allowed that guy, that Jude Obegoro, to steal my glory. Let me go further. Now look at what happened. When the match ended 2-3 minutes later, the whole school carried this guy on their head, on their shoulders. They were singing songs, singing praises unto the guy. I was the person they were supposed to sing praises unto because I trapped the ball. I made the openings. The ball came to me. The only thing remaining was for me to kick the ball inside the net. But the guy told me to stop, told me to hold it, and I listened to him. I did not stand my ground. So the guy shot the ball inside the net, and he was celebrated. Now listen to me. You that is watching this video, you see there are times people around you may steal your glory. What was meant for you, if you are not careful, somebody else may take it or steal it. This thing happened over 40 years ago or thereabouts, but it still lingers on my mind. I don't forget it. So, learn to stand your ground and do not allow anyone to steal your glory. Know when someone wants to steal or intends to steal your glory, that guy stole my glory then. The following day, when we went to school, the whole school celebrated him. He became a celebrity, a star. Teachers, applauded him. Everybody, he became, that is the toast of that is people, he was just a celebrity, a star. Imagine if I had scored that goal. Nobody remembered me because I wasn't the person that scored the goal. You see, the moral of the story is, know when somebody wants to steal your glory and don't allow them. Well, my name is Rody. In case you are seeing me for the first time, follow my page for more interesting videos. See you in my next video.